Hi guys. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Let's get started. So today is 6th of May, and today for May Wine Month, we are doing our second introduction session in our second week, and today is Introduction to Burgundy. So today's session is just to give a very sort of generic, sort of brief 20-minute overview into Burgundy as a wine growing region, and talk a little bit about some of the wines that we list on the Hotel de Vin core list that come from some of the different sub-regions of Burgundy. So as I said in the introduction to Alsace session last week, this intro session will form the following content. So we talk about the location of the wine growing region, today Burgundy. We talk about the varieties that region uses based on its appellation contrôlée laws. We'll talk about some key facts around the wine growing region, which would help understand the region itself. And then we'll look at where some of our producers are based within the wine growing region of Burgundy, and just look at which wines that we list from Burgundy on the Hotel de Vin core list. So as I said, today is an introduction to Burgundy. Definitely one of the most prestigious wine growing regions in the world, not just in France, and extremely famous by reputation of producing some outstanding quality wines. So, as I said to you last week, I would show this map on the start of each of the intro sessions for consistency. And here you can see today's region of Burgundy, but I'm just going to extend up to here as well. So we've got Burgundy here, which is, we'll talk about in just a moment, which is Chablis. Then we've got Burgundy region itself and Beaujolais as well. And for the purpose of today, we are going to be covering Chablis, Burgundy, and Beaujolais. So all that being classed as Burgundy. It's obviously central east France, as you can see from this map, and it extends, the principal part of Burgundy extends north up to Dijon, and down almost as far as Lyon when you include Beaujolais within the greater region of Burgundy. If we now break that map down into those districts of Burgundy, you can see this map on the left-hand side here. So this shows we've got Chablis in the sort of far northwest of the Burgundy region. Then we have Côte d'Or. Now, Côte d'Or is then broken down into two sub-regions, which is Côte de Nuits and Côte de Beaune. Côte in France means side or slope, and so it's the slope of Beaune, the slope of Nuits, and the slope of Golden. So Côte d'Or, the word or means golden, and I'll show you why that is in just a moment. Now, when it comes to quality, we're going to be looking at this in just a little while. When it comes to quality, it would arguably the majority of the premium quality Burgundy wines come from the Côte d'Or, so this northern part of Burgundy. It's quite a thin wine growing region, and it's very kind of broken down into lots of small vineyards owned by many different people as the families have evolved. Then we have Côte Chalonnaise in the center here before we move into the Mâconnaise or Côte de Mâcon at the slope of Mâcon or Mâconnaise. Mâconnaise produces some of your more approachable Burgundies at your lower price point, and tends to be Chardonnay, Chardonnay driven, nearly all 100% Chardonnay. Now, we don't list a Mâconnaise on the Hotel de Vin menu, so we won't really be talking about it today, but it's an important part of Burgundy as the wider region. And then at the very south, we have Beaujolais. So Beaujolais, which is at the far south of the map here on the right, has Beaujolais Cruz at the top, and then into Beaujolais Village in the south. And we are going to be talking about Beaujolais near the end of this 20-minute workshop. And that runs down the Rhone Valley almost as far as Lyon. So this map shows the sort of 5 key regions of Burgundy. And then when you break down Côte d'Or into the Côte de Nuits and Côte de Beaune regions, districts as well. So Côte d'Or, as I said, this is kind of where the best quality Burgundy wines are produced. And as I said already, it's named after the golden color of the vineyards show a remarkable image of during the autumn time. The north, so as I said, the Côte d'Or is broken down into Côte de Nuit in the north and Côte de Beaune in the south. We're going to look at which wines we list and where they come from in Côte d'Or later, but predominantly Côte de Nuit is Pinot Noir and predominantly Côte de Beaune is Chardonnay. But there are Pinot Noir producers that are also based in the Côte de Beaune. But in the far north of Côte de Nuit, it's only really Pinot Noir. So this is a picture just showing what the north of Burgundy looks like in that autumnal time. So the vineyard's taking on that really nice golden color, and that's where it hails its name from. Some key facts of the wine growing region. So Burgundy overall. Burgundy, as I said, is one of the most prestigious wine growing regions of the world, but it's actually not very big. It only produces circa 3% of the vines planted in France and a very small percentage of the French wine production. It's one of the oldest wine growing regions in France, producing wine since the Roman Emperor in 52 BC. And it's now divided into kind of 4 classifications of Burgundy. We've got Grand Cru, Premier Cru, Village, and regional wines within the Burgundy region. So these are the 4 key classifications of wines from Burgundy. Burgundy, if you remember when we're talking about Alsace, 51 Grand Crus of Alsace, Burgundy has 33 Grand Crus, and nearly all of those are in the Côte d'Or. There is one Grand Cru in Chablis, and the remainder are all in Côte d'Or. As I said at the start, so it's quite a small wine growing region, and the pockets of vineyards, the pockets of land are scattered across several vineyards instead of one. So it ends up being kind of a tapestry of viticulture, a tapestry of vineyard production, where you end up with lots of different family members, often owning small pockets of land across Burgundy. And hence they work together with cooperatives and to produce parcels of wine, but also you tend to find that wine production coming out of Burgundy, you have lots of small producers that can produce a real wide range of styles and flavors of wine within quite a small geographical area. Climate-wise, in Burgundy, the winters can be really cold and harsh, but the summers are fairly warm but not too scorching hot, which makes it perfect growing conditions for some of those slightly trickier grape varieties like Pinot Noir, which we'll talk about in just a moment. What I would also say is that if you think about where Burgundy is, it's not on a east to west. It's not too far away from Bordeaux, but a very different climate to Bordeaux due to Bordeaux having that coastal influence that we'll talk about in a couple of weeks' time. So that climate, those cold winters and those relatively warm, long warm summer days really help the growing conditions of certain grape varieties, and really helps a slow ripening of those varieties, which gives a good balance of acidity and sugar. So, wine varieties from Burgundy. It's really all about 2, but there are a couple of others. So firstly, from a white grape perspective, Chardonnay is the king of Burgundy, but not just in Chablis, but in Mâconnais, in the Côte d'Or. The main growing white grape of Burgundy is Chardonnay. And as we probably know, within those different regions, from Chablis through to Burgundy and through into the Mâconnais, they can produce some really contrasting styles of wine from the Chardonnay grape. There are a couple of other white grapes that are grown within Burgundy. Aligoté is one, and this is a grape that you tend to find specifically in between the Côte d'Or and Mâconnais. And Burgundy Aligoté is the white wine from Aligoté. There are also a couple of other grape varieties, including Pinot Gris and including Sauvignon Blanc that can be grown in Burgundy, but in very, very small. They are grown in very, very small percentages, very small areas. So they're not really principal grapes of the Burgundy region. From a red grape perspective, it's really about two when we include Beaujolais. That's Pinot Noir and Gamay. So Pinot Noir is the principal red variety of Burgundy, and Gamay is the principal red variety of Beaujolais in the south. And in terms of quality, this is where you'll find, the best quality Pinot Noir, arguably in the world, in that northern Burgundy region. So, as I said, grape variety wise, it's predominantly Chardonnay for the white, Pinot Noir for the red, and Gamay for Beaujolais. If we just look at the classification again, so as we talked about, we've got those four classifications. Grand Cru, of which we've got 33 Grand Crus across Burgundy. That contributes to only 2% of Burgundy's total production. And these are wines that are designed to be aged and drink older, sorry. And then 12% of Burgundy is Premier Cru. 30%, 36% of Burgundy is village, and the remaining 50% of Burgundy production is within those regional wines. So I think the point we're going to make here is that, Grand Cru, of which there's 33, Grand Crus across Burgundy is only responsible for 2% of Burgundy's production, and Burgundy as an overall wine growing region is only responsible for 3% of France's wine growing production. So the percentage of France's wine growing production that's Grand Cru Burgundy is absolutely minute. And those are the wines that carry the very high price points as wines from Burgundy. So moving on, the next slide, I wanted to take an extract from the Hotel de Vancourt wine list. So this is the map that's in the start of the Hotel de Vancourt wine list. And I just wanted to kind of highlight the wines that we have from this greater Burgundy area and where they're produced. So firstly, as we've already discussed, Chablis is part of that greater Burgundy area. It's not 100% Chardonnay within Chablis, Appellation Control et Chablis, but it is nearly all Chablis. There is a little bit of Pinot Noir grown in Chablis and a little bit of some of those other white grape varieties we've talked about, but nearly all of Chablis production is Chardonnay. So we list the First Cru Chablis from Oliver Trichon, and we're not going to be talking about that wine later on this week, but I thought it was important to highlight it. Then if I just bring up the Côte d'Or map on the right-hand side here. So, and the wines that we list from Burgundy as we're referring it to on the wine list, albeit Chablis, Beaujolais are part of the greater Burgundy area, the wines that we've listed under Burgundy are all coming from that Côte d'Or region, either that Côte de Nuits or Côte de Beaune. So firstly, we've got a Meursault on the wine list. Now, Meursault is in the Côte de Beaune. And that's just sort of south central Côte de Beaune, as you can see on the map here. Now, Meursault does produce both red and white wine, red wine from Pinot Noir and white wine from Chardonnay. But the wine that we list, which you're going to, if you're joining us on Wednesday, you'll hear all about, is produced using the Chardonnay grape variety. So it's a white grape. Then we have the second wine that's listed under Burgundy on the menu is Marangia. Now, Marangia is in the far south of that Côte de Beaune, and it's an area again that produces both white and red wine, red from Pinot Noir, white from Chardonnay, and the wine that we list on the Hotel de Vin menu is red, so it's 100% Pinot Noir. Moving down, the next wine that we list is Poulet Montrachet. So Poulet Montrachet is just in between Meursault and Chassagne Montrachet, which is here. So again, it's on the southern Beaune region, Côte de Beaune region of the Côte d'Or. And it's an area of, it's a wine growing region that only really makes white wine. So you don't really find Pinot Noir growing in Poulet Montrachet. And hence, as what I've just said, the Poulet Montrachet that's on the Hotel de Vin core list is 100% Chardonnay, so it's a white wine. And then the Chacheng Montrachet, which is a little bit further south than Poulet Montrachet, again on the Côte de Beaune as part of Côte d'Or. This is a wine growing region that does produce both red and white wine, red from Pinot Noir, white from Chardonnay. And the wine that we feature on the Hotel de Vin core list is from Thomas Maury, which is a red, so it's a Pinot Noir from Chacheng Montrachet. Now, so far, all of these Burgundy wines have been in that southern area of Côte de Beaune, the slope of Beaune, the village being here on the map. And then the last one, the Gevrey-Chambertin from Drouhin, Joseph Drouhin, is based up in the far north of Côte de Nuits. So Côte de Nuits, the Côte of the Knight, or Côte of Nuits St George. The Nuits St George is probably the most iconic village within the Côte de Nuits, and you can see Nuits St George here, and Gevrey-Chambertin is up at the far north. So if you remember, we're not a million miles away from Dijon here. In fact, we're very close to Dijon, just a little bit further north on that map. So Gevrey-Chambertin is an area, and most of the wine growing in this Côte de Nuits area is 100% Pinot Noir, so only make red wines. And that is the case for Gevrey-Chambertin. Gevrey-Chambertin being a Pinot Noir red wine from the north of Côte de Nuits. And then just for completion, we're going to talk about it in just a second anyway, but just for completion, our Beaujolais is, to form the collection of our wines from Burgundy, is down a bit further, and we're going to talk about that next, but it's from Chasses. So hopefully that really helps to put in context the wines that we list at Hotel de Vin and whereabouts within Burgundy these wines are found, and those wine growing regions in at high level, with a very summary approach, which styles of wine they do and don't make. So not all of these regions on the Côte d'Or both produce both red and white wines. Some only produce red from Pinot Noir and white from Chardonnay. So then I just wanted to home in on Beaujolais. So we're back to our map now, a little bit of a different impression, but we've got Côte d'Or at the top here, Mâconnais in the center, and then this purple region is Beaujolais. Now, Beaujolais, as I've said already, has 10 crus of Beaujolais at the top and then Beaujolais Village at the bottom. Beaujolais Village producing your more entry-level Beaujolais that are all pretty much designed to be drunk young and fresh. Now, in Beaujolais, there are 10 crus, 10 villages of Beaujolais. And you can see the map here showing those 10 names. And as we go from the north towards the south, the third cru down is Chasses. And Chasses is where we'll find the producer that makes our by the glass Beaujolais on the Hotel de Vin core list. It's a very unique area for growing wine because of the soil type and the approach to viticulture and vinification. And we will be having a session tomorrow with the producer of our Chasses, which can tell us all about this very interesting and unique wine growing region. So just to summarize here, really, we've got one Beaujolais on the list. As we've covered already, Beaujolais is not from Pinot Noir, it's from the grape variety Gamay. And our Beaujolais is produced in Chasses, which is the third cru down from north to south as you go through the region of Burgundy. Region of Beaujolais. So this week, as I said, tomorrow we've got a session with Chasses, and then we have two other spotlight sessions from our wines from Burgundy. We have a session on Wednesday on the Meursault, available for everyone to join, and then we have Gevrey-Chambertin Drouhin session, which is on Thursday. So it'll be a really nice contrast because we've got a session on a Chardonnay producing region, albeit Meursault does produce both Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, but the one that we list is Chardonnay in the Côte de Beaune. And then we've got a Pinot Noir producer talking about Pinot Noir and Beaujolais viticulture and vinification, grape growing and winemaking in the northern part of the Côte d'Or, which is Côte de Nuits. So two contrasting wines from this fantastic wine growing region. So just to highlight there, as we go through into this week, Beaujolais, Meursault and Gevrey-Chambertin. So three contrasting wines to learn more about as we go through this final, these next 3 days of Burgundy. And that, I hope that's been a useful session, but that brings us to the end of our overview and introduction to Burgundy. But I do open the floor to any questions that you may have.